3 or 4 times.
Oh dear. Okay, so 203
Yep.
245 1506.
15. Is that your cell phone, Susan?
No, that's home.
That's home?
Why don't I give you my cell phone? So, because I'll be out and about. 203
Yep.
988 3123.
3123. Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, Peter. I haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah. I was caught by surprise by the last minute scheduling of the meeting.
Mhm.
Here's John Lynn. Hi, John.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Well,
Very
it's
good.
summertime.
Except for the cost of plywood right now.
Oh my God, isn't it something?
I know.
I'm building a little 4x4 outdoor shower. The lumber costs are out of this world.
Yeah, it's like every week they go up.
4x4.
Yeah. Yeah, it was $12 today for a 8-foot 2x4. And
Yeah.
just about 3 weeks ago, it was only 8, and last year it was 3.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
All right.
Don't buy lumber now.
Defer until next year.
Right.
All right, let's see.
My head off here.
So we're missing Carol. Let's give her a moment to join us.
We do have 4 of those, so that's good.
We do have a quorum. That's a good thing.
So as you're walking on Route 1 on the green, my wife and I took a walk tonight down to the golf course. And there's someone who has a fence, and in front of their fence, they say, have a little 2 signs that say, do not walk on the grass. Isn't that state property? It's right along the road. And so it kind of forces you out onto the road there.
Is
That
it
Tom
on the post road?
Mhm.
yeah, Tom and Eileen put actually bluestone in front,
I know.
and so did Tim and Danny Carroll. So people would have something to walk on. I don't know, I just noticed it tonight, and but it's we obeyed the sign and walked on the road.
That
Yeah,
may be
I
a
think-
new sign. I don't think that's it, because I've walked that walk many times.
I think it just went up.
No, it just went, because that's where I crossed the street with the dogs, and I thought, oh, what's this? Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think technically that land is owned by the state, because it's a state highway,
Mhm.
Route 1. So it's not even town property, it's state property, because it's part of the roadway.
Yeah, the signs are within a foot, John, of the road, and they have a very small little patch of grass there.
Yeah, the state's not going to maintain that, so
Right.
so any grass or planting is going to be the homeowners doing,
Mhm.
and so they're probably just trying to protect their grass and stuff, but they don't have any, in my mind, I wouldn't think they'd have any right to try and enforce that beyond
Well,
courtesy.
especially if it sends people out into the road, that's not good.
Oh,
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
no,
clearly
that's-
does. Oh, it absolutely does. Yeah. I mean, it's the signs are right, right there, one on each side. And it
Yeah.
says, please, at least it said, please stay off grass. So it's, you definitely, but as you'll know, you guys all know, because I'm here tonight, I'm a man who abides by rules. So when someone tells me to stay off the grass, I went into the road.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate it, but don't get hit.
Now I want to see that sign now, so I will take that walk.
Right.
Okay. All right, well, I think we might as well get started, and if Carol does join us, that'll be great. But we do have a quorum, and so let's get started. Marlene, is it useful for us to formally tell us, say our names for the recording purposes? You're on mute.
Not when we're on Zoom.
Okay.
All the names are here.
Okay.
They're
All right.
right by your face. Oh,
Yes.
to your left of your faces.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Thanks.
normally we do that but it's a tape recorder, but now that we're Zoom, I guess it's not kind of redundant. All right. So the first, we should call the meeting to order. Do you have a motion to call the meeting to order?
So moved.
A second?
Second,
All right. All those in favor of beginning the meeting of the Historic District Commission for May 24th, 2021 at 7:05 PM, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's unanimous. We are commencing our meeting. The first thing on the agenda is 554 Boston Post Road, application for a certificate of appropriateness for addition of a front dormer on existing garage. Dave, do you happen to have those drawings, the application drawings by chance?
I do. I don't know if John can pull them up or not. John Matthews, can you pull those up or do you need me to do it?
The only thing I could do is hold up.
Oh, let me pull it up. Yeah.
Let's do it digitally,
There you
please.
go.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, David. As I said, I'm an old guy and I'm not up for all this new stuff. But this is the elevation. Right now, that's a single roof that comes down. And it's just so we've gotten approval previously to put the cupola on the garage. But in terms of trying to make the inside layout work, we really needed some room for headroom for the bathroom and the bed area. And so we were looking to do this shed dormer that was 22 feet wide with some small windows in it. It would be very similar to what the Carrolls have next door to us to the east on their garage. I think it actually adds some character to that, because if you look at a photo of that building today, let's see, that's the Carrolls. And so we're looking to do something very similar to that. If you look at our existing building today, it's really, it's pretty stark above the overhead doors. And I think the shed dormer would actually add some character to this. And it's set well back from the post road. And so this would be the shed dormer. So there, we have a bathroom, we have headroom, we can have a laundry in the bathroom, and then we can have a real closet and a sleep area. This is essentially like kind of a big efficiency apartment, which is for Bob McGovern's coming down. And we have an egress window, and then we have actually windows on the back, which has a shed dormer now, which looks out over the yard, which Bob has cleared and seeded. It's a beautiful setting.
Hey, Bob, this is Dave Anderson. So this is for your mother-in-law?
Yes, yep.
Do you want us to approve it or do you want us to deny it?
Well, I have an agreement with my wife that she gets into the main house by appointment only. So
Okay.
as long as my wife honors that agreement, so I think it might be okay.
I'm back. So, and Bob has replaced these 12/12 windows with new replacement windows, and they look fantastic. They're really nice windows. We had a bit of a scare because with Vinny and the building department wanting us to do brace walls, we would have had to reduce the width of these windows. But through some engineering gymnastics, we were able to not have to do that, because we really didn't want to do that. And so we found a way to not have to replace these to be 9/9s. So they're actually have already been installed as the replacement 12/12s, and they look great.
So the 12 over 12 windows will match what's on the house then, right?
Yeah, that was, the original ones there, Tom, were 12 over 12s, but
Right.
they were, bad in shape. The putty was falling out and they were, terrible.
Yeah.
But these are really new Marvin replacement windows. They have the muttons on the outside. I mean, they look terrific.
Yeah, they're already installed, Tom. They're on there right
12
now.
over 12s on the main house look fantastic, I must say. I'm very impressed with those.
Yeah, we're pretty
Okay.
happy with them. We're glad we went in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim and Denny Carroll were kind enough to invite us into their apartment above their garage, and that's where we got the idea for the front dormer. It really gave a lot of headroom around the bed area and also in their bathroom. One of the issues is the roof we have is kind of flat, so it's there's going to be right now in that area, it's really just going to be storage for my mother-in-law, but this allows it to be a little more functional space. I think it'll complement the cupola also. Actually, you can look at it now from this picture. It's might look pretty good with the cupola there.
Do we have a photo of the existing garage the way it looks now?
There might be one on, if we can get to Google Earth.
I'm pulling up the just Madison was 554. Yeah.
A desperate look from Tom.
I couldn't remember the number.
Hi, Carol.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Sorry
hi,
I'm
Carol.
late.
We just started. You're fine.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, the vision appraisal doesn't show the garage, just the main house.
Yeah, I think Google Earth does. If you go to if you just go to Google Maps actually and do Street View, you'll get a really good picture of the garage.
So David, you had a picture of that garage up a minute ago. So
Yeah,
put
I'm
that
pulling it up
again.
right. I'm gonna do the Google Street View right now.
Oh, good, thanks, Dave. It'll take me a half an hour, it'll take him 3 minutes.
So we have a painter who just arrived today who's going to be sanding all the trim and replacing. There's some that's going to need replacing, some of the trim. But it's, yep.
See, here you can see that how plain and simple that garage looks back there. I mean, it really doesn't add any real character to the building. And there's the new 12 over 12 replacement windows that were put in, just like in the rest of the house.
So there was a 6-inch sag in the roof. So when you walk by it now, you'll see there's no sag whatsoever. It's completely straight. You actually really notice it in this picture. There's a giant laminate beam that goes across inside there, and they were able to straighten it out completely. So it's really noticeable from the road, actually. Actually, now he was explaining it to me, but now when I see the older picture before the beam went in, you can actually tell where the sag was.
What is the ceiling? God, it doesn't look like there's enough room to stand up in the upstairs of the garage, but obviously there is. What is it, like a 6-foot overhead?
Well, remember, it wouldn't be a functional space at all, Tom, if we didn't put the back dormer in. So there's a full roof dormer in the back.
Okay.
That's allowed it to be functional whatsoever. But yeah, that the first 4 feet of that right now is storage. We have it's like a crawl space that'll just be stored. So it's just kind of a tremendous waste of space. And the reason that it has that is that's actually a 9-foot ceiling inside the garage. So I think it was like a carriage house for horses and stuff. It was a barn, and then they had probably hay up top there. I'm not sure, but it's
Yeah. No, I'm just curious. It doesn't matter to the application, but from the floor of the upstairs of the garage to the peak of the roof, what's the distance? It can't be that big.
I think it's 8 feet, John, isn't it?
Is it that big?
Well, from the existing second floor to the ridge is like 8'9" or something like that. It's not.
I get it. So the floor of the upper part of the garage actually starts lower than it looks from the photo.
Yes, yep.
Okay, I got it. Anyway, I mean, the dormer looks fine to me. It's exactly, it is very similar to the one next door to you,
Mhm.
and it looks fine to me. I don't have any issue with it.
Yeah, so you obviously need a building permit for this.
Correct.
So John, you're going to do some hardline drawings of this for that process, right?
Yes, in other words, the whole project so far has been done freehand, and I will do a much better freehand floor plan than the one you saw. But the front elevation that you saw is actually to scale and accurate, the one that David put up. You know, this one here.
Right. Is
22
that what?
inches. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what you're submitting for the building permit? That drawing that we just looked at?
Yes, plus I will do a more complete floor plan of it. The sketch that I did real quick was, not sufficient to submit to Vinnie, because I have to I have to size the rafters and a beam underneath the dormer wall,
Right.
which we can do. It's not a big issue.
Right. What's the size of the windows on the front, the north face?
Well, those little ones are roughly like 18 inches square. Those three I show in a row. They're really there for articulation, but they would be awning windows, so they would let you get some air and ventilation into the bathroom on the right and the bed area on the left. The bed would be directly below those three windows.
What's the sill height? Curiosity.
Well, I have to look at that section. The sill height is between 5 and 6 feet.
Okay, so they're fairly high up in.
Probably around probably 5 feet above the floor. I'd have to.
And what's?
I did that one rough section to show that. I think you had that, David. Item 4, was it?
Yeah, item 4.
So you can see here again. I have to do this to scale. This was just a quick, but this would be the 18-inch windows. So this is 3'6" here. So it's roughly 5'6" to 6 feet above the floor. So in this case, this is the sleeping area. So the bed would be against this wall, and it sticks out. And these windows are up high above the bed.
Right.
And again, I have to look at what angle we want to use for the roof and all. So I have to do really a more detailed drawing of that. But this wall would be 2 feet back from the front of the existing building. And then you would have, because with the overhang here, there'd be plenty of roof in front from the eave up to the new dormer.
Yeah. Yeah, my next question was what's the slope of the new roof, but I guess you don't quite know that yet.
Well, this roof I think is 6 and 12, and this one is probably going to be like 3 and 12 in that range. Not 3 and 12, more like 2.5 and 12.
Yeah.
But again, that's why I have to draw the detail section of this, which.
Okay. Well, I think in general, looking at the photograph, the street view photograph, and I'd actually noticed driven by there the other day, and I was thinking the same thing, Bob, that the garage roof is kind of underwhelming as it is.
Yeah.
So a little dormer actually there would probably be an improvement on that. Are you gonna change the roof shingles or keep what's there? I guess is my next question.
We would pretty much have to reshingle what's there, but it would be done similar to what's there today. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll match the, I mean, as close as we can. We have actually a sleeve of the original, of the shingles are actually on both the garage and the house. So we'll do our best to match them with the house. And I think we probably could. It's about 8-9 years ago that the Banishes actually put the new roof on.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like asphalt shingles.
Yep.
Okay.
Architectural, yeah.
Yeah. And you're not reshingling the house, just the garage.
Correct, yeah.
We're
Yeah,
only
the house is
doing
in good
it
shape.
because we would have to put the dormer in.
Right,
If we weren't
sure.
putting the dormer, that would just stay what you see today is what you would have. But as you say, there's nothing to write home about this roof on the garage.
Yeah.
Poor roof. Getting beat up.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Carol, Susan, Peter?
It's good.
Yeah. Looks fine to me. You got to thread a few needles there to make it all fit together.
Yeah, the geometry is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the issues that we had with the sleeping area to get it, like, I think this was like 5.5 feet here. It tended to push the bed really into the living area. And by being able to move this back 2 feet, it really got the bed out of this living space. And it makes a much more livable unit for Bob's mother-in-law.
Right.
Yeah, next door, that's where Tim and Denny's bed is exactly in the middle of that front dormer next door. So the window's right above it. So you can really tell how it kind of changed the kind of functional use of that space.
Mm-hmm. From a planning point of view, it seems like the right solution. How soon are you planning on submitting for a building permit?
Tomorrow.
This
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
I have to do that quick drawing by the end of the week.
Right. Yeah, as soon as possible. We have builders here, and before the price of plywood goes up more.
All right. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, the builder said he had to get a sheet of 3/4 CDX today was $94.
Wow.
One sheet of CDX 3/4 plywood, $94.
That's nuts.
A month and a half ago, it was 74. It used to be 32.
Yeah.
Things we do for our mother-in-laws. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know. Any other comments from anybody? Well, ideally, I would love to see some more precise drawings for this. But I think the general direction is, I have no objection to the general direction. I think it is a rational solution to, what you're trying to accomplish here. So I don't really have any concerns from that standpoint. You're pretty much matching all the materials that are existing on the garage and the house already, just with new. So there's no real concern with that. the window sizes, they seem appropriate to what you're doing, and there's look to be somewhat similar to the house next door. We talked about the cupola previously, so I have no objections about that. Well, I guess I would say, kind of repeating what I said a moment ago, I'd like to see a little bit more precise drawings, like the section, just to get a better, a dimensional sense of the new roof. But I don't see that as a major obstacle to moving forward on this. And I don't think it's necessary to be a further impediment or delay to allowing this to move forward, unless somebody else on the commission disagrees with that. I don't know, any thoughts from any of the other commission members on that on that subject?
I have no objection to having it go ahead.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so my only thought on that, John, is we've done this before, and we've actually gotten burned once or twice off this. So I tend to agree with you that I don't want to stop. I don't want to be an impediment to this going forward. But at some point, we are going to have to kind of insist, I think, on final drawings for this is more of a minor issue to me. So I wouldn't like raise an issue here. And this has nothing to do with this application. It has to do more with how we proceed forward, on just our regular course of business. But we probably should at some point insist on more complete drawings to make a decision. On this one, I don't think there's going to be any issue here, especially since we know exactly what it's going to look like. So I'm not terribly concerned about that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was sort of getting at, Tom, is that, with some future application, if somebody comes before us with freehand drawings, I mean, in this case, we have the benefit of John's drawings here, and, he's an established architect that's been living and working in Madison for a number of years now, and he's come before us a number of times, and, things have always worked out just fine. No major issues, but at some future point, somebody may come before us who's unknown to us and doesn't have a track record locally, and produces some freehand drawings, which end up being very different than what actually is being proposed to be built. And, we end up in a difficult situation.
The front elevation is really drawn to scale, and it's accurate. And initially, we were just going to submit the front elevation, and I said, well, here's these two really rough floor plans and stuff that sort of describe why we're doing this. And so that's really why there's no more. I mean, we did this really quick because the idea that only came up like 2 days before the application was due.
Mm-hmm. David, can you go back to the front elevation number 2, please? Thank you.
This is a to scale drawing. It's not, it's not, even though it's done freehand, it's to scale. I mean, this, the whole building permit application that's been put in so far has been done freehand and the same nature as this.
Okay.
John, what is the width of the actual dormer?
The width of the dormer is 22 feet from that corner to the left corner to the right corner.
Got it. And so the width of the garage is what, 26 or 28?
And the garage itself is 36 feet wide.
36. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, the width was on the floor plan.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
So John, it's actually set about 22 inches back from the front of the roof also. So unlike the back dormer, this one is just like Tim and Denny's next door. It'll be set 22 inches back from the front of the roof there. That's where it actually will start.
Right.
Right. So in keeping with what is already.
And
Got it.
the front eave of the garage has a 14-foot overhang. I'm sorry, a 14-inch overhang. So that adds
Got it,
more
okay.
to the roof that you see.
Right. Okay. I guess what I would like to do then is make a motion to approve this as shown in the drawings with a stipulation or a comment to please provide the updated section, the more precise section when it's available. So the section you're going to redraw for the building department, if we could get a copy of that as well, and the floor plan too, if you don't mind, just as a record, confirming what we're looking at here. And with that condition, I would motion that we approve the proposed dormer as otherwise indicated. We have a second.
I second.
Any discussion from anybody on the commission before we vote? No? Okay. All right. All those in favor of approving the application for the dormer with the stipulation that the more precise building section and floor plan, when a copy are submitted to us, when it's also submitted to the building department for a building permit, the design would be approved. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? All right, that's a unanimous approval. You just
Oh,
submit those drawings when you have them. We'd appreciate it.
Okay,
thank you very much, everybody.
All
thank
right,
you
thank
so
you.
much, guys.
Yep.
I appreciate what you've done, you guys have done for the town. You've done a great job for the town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you guys being a part of the process.
Okay. And we've got a great new neighbor in Bob McGovern and his wife.
Hey, it's
Well,
always good to have someone come
yeah.
into town who's,
Only been 6 months though. Give you time out.
Yeah, well, we always appreciate people coming in, especially to the historic districts and trying to make them better.
Yeah.
That's our mission. And so when the owner comes in and wants to do that as well, that's great.
Yep. Oh yeah, we love, hopefully we can continue to, we stay solvent here, can continue to beautify the house and improve it and,
Yeah,
but we enjoy it. It's we love the neighborhood too. And it's
good.
We're thrilled.
And we really do appreciate you coming forward with every change that you're making, because a lot of times that doesn't happen, and it's very nice to see you've come forward on every single thing that you're doing. So it's very nice for us to,
Right.
makes it easier for us when
Right.
people do that.
And I think the discussion is good because, we're very happy that we went with the 12/12 versus the 9/9. So sometimes getting other people's opinion and having a healthy dialogue gets you in the right direction, right? So,
Yeah, I think the 12/12 was a great choice, and it's great that Marvin came up with that as a viable option after they made some, design refinements to the window itself.
yeah, it was that Elevate series that really allowed it to happen,
Yeah.
And I think the wood fence looks terrific that you put up. I don't know if anybody's noticed that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, thank you very much, Bob, John.
Okay.
We appreciate your time.
Thank
thank
you.
you, everybody,
Have a
and
good
have a
evening,
great evening.
everybody.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Tom Boyle. Can hardly hear you.
Oh, so that, whenever I look down, that's when you.
No, even
you
now
hear
I
me
can't
now,
hear you.
right?
Even now I can't hear you.
Oh, who knows what's going on?
I mean, I can, but it's like your microphone's under a pillow.
You probably don't need to hear me, so it's
Okay.
I will check it later.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking about, I've been thinking about a little bit lately, and I drove down the post road just the other day, several times actually, and I have some second thoughts about the fence that we approved for them, and not so much the fence that their fence in particular, but just the fences in general. And looking at the fences along the post road, the older fences, the more original fences are much shorter, more like 30 inches tall.
Mhm.
And it really struck me on the corner of Island Avenue there. They replaced that fence there, which was probably about 30 inches tall, and it needed to be replaced. It was, or it was in pretty badly deteriorating. So the new owners did that. That's not in the district, so we have no oversight on that, unfortunately. But as soon as I saw them with a much taller fence, it really said, "Hey, wait a minute, what's going on here?" And then I quickly recalled that we don't have any input there. But I think that was a mistake to go with the taller fence on the Island Avenue property. I think maybe it was a mistake. I think Bob's property would have been looked better with a shorter fence than with the 42-inch fence, which they did install, even though their neighbors typically have the 42 or 36, whatever that dimension is, that many of the neighbors have. But all the older fences are shorter, and the shorter ones look better. They seem more inviting and more traditional, more historic, if you will. And the taller ones feel more like really trying to keep somebody out of your property. They seem much more defensive instead of aesthetic from that standpoint. But
And now this is the cart before the horse, but Bob told me that the people who live west of him, I call it, what was it, who was it, Carol? John?
Don't know. I don't know.
Okay, well.
The house that's white that used to be red.
Yes.
Oh dear.
And Bob said that they liked McGovern's fence so much that they are probably going to put one in too. So it's really going to
interesting.
look, I don't know, almost looks like a highway barrier looking down the street. I noticed that, John, too. It was just.
yeah, I didn't give it enough thought at the time when we were reviewing it, because the fence itself is fine. It's sort of after the fact I started thinking more and more about the height of it, and my take on it was it shouldn't be that tall.
It probably originally they were built to keep sheep on the property and not on the main road.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it didn't have to be very tall.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But
even
I don't know
now,
how it crept up.
I mean, if we ask people to do a 30-inch, you're going to look down the street and it's going to be like that.
That's all right.
That's gonna be
That's all right with me. That variety is just like the facades are a little bit different, each one,
Yeah. Well, something to think about if and when another fence comes before us for discussion. So I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about recently, and I wish I'd thought about it more when we were reviewing the application, but live and learn.
If they come and want to do that, could we say no when McGovern's have just done it a month ago?
Technically, we could say no, yeah, but if they wanted to fight us, they would have a pretty good grounds for fighting us. Because we
on.
just approved it. The whole idea of precedent isn't in our favor on this one. But if we can persuade, if we think it ought to be lower, if we can persuade them, maybe they're persuadable.
Mhm.
But we'll deal with that when we need to deal with that. Let's see. Next thing, I guess we have some minutes to review. I don't know if anyone had a chance. David had sent those. They were in David's email from earlier today. Did anyone have a chance to review them?
I did look at one of them. Now I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Could easily table it. I wasn't sure if they were sent to you a week ago or not when Maria first sent out the agenda, so I resent them. So if you just got them 2 hours ago, if that was.
Yeah.
I actually did, I hope people can hear me. I actually did read the April 26th minutes, and they're fine except for the very first number 1 item that says Chairman John Lynn called the meeting to order. Well, he wasn't there, so that was me that actually called it to order. That's the only change I would make.
Yeah, so I was not at that meeting, so I don't have any comments to make. So if people have not had a chance to review those, maybe we table those till our next meeting and we can review them beforehand rather than taking the time now to do that. Have people reading while we're in our call.
That's fine. And then the other minutes there are actually old Elm Street minutes, which should really take place during our meeting. So, and I don't have an agenda or a meeting this today scheduled. So we'll do that next time at the next old Elm Street meeting.
Okay. All right, so that covers pretty much the agenda items. Does anybody have any new things they want to discuss or other things they wanted to discuss while we're here?
Any
Carol.
updates on the general's residence?
I don't have any firm updates. I know that actually I ran into Duo downtown today. The developer had asked him to look at some alternate floor plan layouts for the building because they're having some buyers express interest in either having a single unit or potentially a single unit with kind of an accessory apartment in it. And they hadn't gotten a lot of interest in the 2 units as originally designed. But then Duo said today that they did just recently get an inquiry about purchasing one of the units as originally designed. So I'm not quite sure how that's all going to play out, but in any case, they are well aware that they're coming back before the Historic District Commission. And it was communicated to me if there are proposed modifications, they would be really interior modifications, and that the exterior and the shell of the building would remain either identical or extremely close to what was approved originally. But they're just exploring those ideas. So all the remaining units, in my understanding, have been sold.
Good for them.
Yeah, if this new buyer comes through, I would assume they would be moving forward pretty quickly then on this last one, because I think they want to complete the project and have it be a success as they originally envisioned. They don't want to limp along and not have that general's residence be part of it for some time.
Yeah, I think the town would appreciate that too, getting that back up there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the whole premise, a little bit of the project. And I think, to be honest with you, in my opinion, and you guys should speak to this more than me, but I think it anchors the whole project. I think it doesn't spatially make a lot of sense until that building's back in place. So,
yeah, I think you're right, Dave.
I've lost track of the vote on the Ledges project. Did that happen Thursday night or
no, it did not. That's been the marathon, and Carol was there. It's been a marathon set of meetings, so there's wetlands hearings associated with it as well. But we have another hearing scheduled for June 3rd. And there's an intervener in the application process. So they're going to be doing a presentation and then allowing the commission to ask questions and the public to add some further either comment or speak in favor or opposition. So we may include that on June 3rd, but it's possible that we won't. It's been going on for quite a while.
We've been using the word filibuster a lot. Filibuster, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I've always thought that stretch of Route 1 would be a good location for a historic district in town.
Yes, I agree.
I know I mean, maybe one of these days we can pull that off, but
not right now.
Try it right now.
Although
Yeah.
you probably have a captive audience right now to
I
start those
know.
discussions, to be honest
Soon,
with you.
maybe, yeah, let's
True.
see how it goes.
True.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And there are some interesting houses along that whole stretch. So,
Yeah, there are.
um, any other things to discuss? So, Dave, you're leaving us.
Yes, yeah, I am. I'm June 18th will be my last day with the town. I'll still be a resident, but no longer an employee. And I'm going to be working for Save the Sound, the environmental nonprofit based out of New Haven.
Mhm.
So I was telling folks, I'm not a old man by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been doing the municipal work for close to 20 years now. And I have kind of had a desire to make a change in my career path and felt if I didn't make it now, it was probably never going to happen. You know, I'd be get another 5 or 10 years down the road and my pension would be very valuable and it would be hard to leave. So, after talking a lot of it with my family, we decided I decided to make a little bit of a switch. So I'm optimistic that it's going to work out well, but it was definitely a difficult decision leaving the town. I really have enjoyed it, and I've really enjoyed working with all the boards and commissions. I felt like I've learned a lot, as well as I hopefully contributed positively. But it's been a lot of hard work too. I have a lot of these meetings at night, and the other part of the reason why I'm looking to make a shift is a little better work-life balance with my young daughter. So I'm hopeful that plays out well too, because I know those years are fleeting, and I don't want to look back and have any regret.
Before she hits adolescence.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Once she turns 13, I know all bets are off. So I got a couple good years left though.
Some good years left.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've been a big asset to the town, and we on the commission have certainly appreciated all your insights and support that you've given us over the years that you've been here. And I'm sure you'll do well on your next position as well. And
I hope I do.
So,
and I'm optimistic that they're going to have somebody in here that's going to be able to support you as well, hopefully even better than I've been able to, because I know especially in the beginning, I wasn't able to attend as many of these meetings as I would have liked. Thankfully with Zoom, I'm able to make it work a little bit easier, but so I know I'm going to do my best to make sure there's a good transition and that you guys are going to be happy with my replacement. So that's my goal.
So just go ahead, Carol.
No, I would just
Okay.
thank you for doing that. I mean, it's great to think that you're even involved in the transition, because the smoother it is, the better, of course.
Yeah.
We will miss you.
Thank you. You'll see me around town. I'll ride my bike a little bit more, hopefully.
We'll press
That's
pass on
good.
the Hammonasset Trail.
Exactly.
Good. Well, I'm sure you'll do well at your new position, and that's Saving the Sound is a worthwhile venture. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
And any sense of how soon they'll have a replacement for you, or?
Well, it's on the Board of Selectmen agenda tonight for discussion. So they're going to try to advertise this week. They typically leave it open for 3 or 4 weeks. In the meantime, we're actually going to try to get a planning consultant in to kind of help bridge the gap. And that could happen within the next week or two if we're fortunate to get somebody lined up. So I've made a couple connections with the Human Resources Department that they're exploring. So hopefully, and then John DeLora and Maria Patola from my department will still be here, and I know you guys have worked with John in some capacity in the past, so they'll
Right.
still be interfacing with you if there is any gaps.
Okay, great. Anybody got anything else? All right, well, can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So move.
A second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting for the Historic District Commission on May 24th, 2021 at 7:49 p.m., say aye. Aye. All those opposed? As usual, it's unanimous. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Marlene, you had something, or are you just
No,
waving
it's
by?
fine. Hi.
Okay. All right, bye-bye.